The tree of liberty has been thirsty for too long. I am the spark, the powder, the match, the shot that rang, the line in the patch. I am the night they tossed the tea, the oath they swore to die free. You can chain my hands, you can break my bones, but you'll never own my soul. I am the fire in the midnight sky, the reason tyrants die. I am 1776, lightning, thunder, iron, and grit. Every musket, every fist. I am 1776. Oh, 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 oh. I am 1776. I am the flag they tried to burn, the shot that made the empire turn. I am the rebel, the Minuteman, the ink that wrote we can. We hold these truths, hear my boots on the cobblestone, hear my war cry, shake the throne, hear my drum, you know it's near, your reign of fear ends here. I am 1776, lightning, thunder, iron, and grit, every musket, every fist. I am 1776. Oh, 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 oh. I am 1776.
Ooh, good morning for Wormhole Wednesday. Hi, George.
Hello, how are you? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on a minute. I gotta find myself.
Okay. Thanks to everybody that tuned in last night. We really appreciate it. We had quite a few people in there last night, and by this morning there was even a lot more views. So anybody that was there, thank you. It was fun.
I'm so happy that everybody tuned in last night.
Yeah, I know. It was really nice because it's a little bit different than the morning. We got a different theme song and different icon and all that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit more relaxed than we are. And we can be a little bit more unfiltered at night because nobody's going to spit their coffee out. So that's good. Hello, Sean.
Good morning. Speaking of spitting coffee out.
What, you spitting coffee out?
Oh, just getting ready to have a coffee. I just hope I won't spit it out. That's all.
I was telling everybody, thank you for tuning in last night. How many people were on with us last night, and then
that was fun.
Yeah, we got quite a few views by this morning. You should see it. The
Really?
numbers. Yeah, yeah. One reel I put up yesterday got 14,000 views on YouTube too.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
so we're picking up traction here.
You didn't get one of them viewing forums, do you? You have in your one of the rooms at your house with all the cell phones.
Yeah, I'm so technical. I figured that all out. Yeah, some of them are doing okay on YouTube, and some aren't. I don't know what is hitting the algorithm on them, but some of them are really getting traction. So that's kind of cool. So I think our exposure's getting out there.
Cool.
Good morning. I heard there's a bad little cold thing that's happening on the East Coast and also in the middle of the state there.
Yeah, I got a freeze warning for tonight, I think already. I don't know if I'm going to get the warning yet, but I know they said cold. So how about if I start, huh?
I started on the news this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cold here.
Well, we should do. You know what I think we should do every morning? I think we should open up saying the Pledge of Allegiance. But we have to sit down because we can't stand up or she ain't going to stand see it. So
then we
know.
got to do a prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Who? What happened?
So we do
Yeah,
a prayer
George.
and the Pledge of Allegiance.
I think it would be a good idea if we do that. I don't know.
You're taking away Stacy's job, man.
Yeah,
That's she
George.
needs to put
Yeah,
that.
don't be outsourcing, George.
No, but I'm saying, could Stacy do it in the beginning of the thing?
Well, she usually. I
Maybe
think.
read it.
I don't
She
know,
does.
Stacy. When do you do it? I know I see it. She just did it now. See?
All right, so we'll say it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. One nation under God. One line, no apostrophe, no stopping, no nothing.
No
Well,
what?
Next thing.
Apostrophe?
No, people do.
In my
everybody-
opinion, we should do the prayer first, not the Pledge of
Yeah, I
Allegiance.
know, but you're right. Okay, but what I'm saying is the way the pledge is written, it's one nation under God, it's one line. A lot of people, when they say the pledge, they go one nation and they stop and then it goes under God. It's not supposed to be that way. Okay, sorry. Because then the nation doesn't get blessed by God.
There's no apostrophe in there. You're right.
Yeah, but people do it all the time, and I scream it out loud, and I tell everybody when they do the
That
pledge.
may have been George. That may have been Brooklyn Ease that started that.
But no,
Yeah, not
No.
your Brooklyn Ease.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. We got time out again.
Prayer first. That's more important than the Pledge of Allegiance because you got to be allegiant to God
right.
first.
That's true.
All right. I've been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. The life I live in the body, I live by faith in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. And that's Galatians 2:20. Amen.
Amen.
There. Now you can pontificate
Amen.
there, George.
I said it already. I think it's nice that we should read. Everybody takes a turn. I did it today. In case you could do it tomorrow.
Can't put the pressure on me, George. I'm never here on time.
Yeah. Well, no. Mark could do it on Friday.
Mark would be a good one for it.
Mm.
I'll probably be wearing his flag shirt that day too. Right?
Mm.
Right, Mark?
Yeah, we got 10 minutes to spare. We could do that.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, I'm just kidding, Mark. Yeah. So, do you want to talk about what happened last night, George?
Or what?
Oh, geez. I don't know. Do you want to get personal or do you want to talk about politics?
No, we talk about politics.
Well, there you go then.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, we know about the make-believe agreement that was done by Iran and Trump. We gave them 15. They came back with 10. It's like, let's make a deal. But what's funny is they were still shooting missiles to Israel. The strategy is that President Trump is doing this so Iran can move all their equipment and communication and find out where everybody is, and then he's going to hit them. This is what I believe in. That's why Trump came to the agreement of that. And one of the biggest things that Iran is asking for is to pass the Straits of Hormuz. You got to pay a $2 million tariff, like a toll. Yeah, $2 million. So with that money, with all the ships that go through, they'll wind up building their arsenal again. So
I thought I was going to pay for Savannah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I don't know of really any of these demands if they're real or not, because they obviously the first set of demands that they showed was totally fake, right? Trump even said that. And then CNN took down a post or something of one of them, but they're still out there, and people are saying that, you know, like the demands are stupid, like we're gonna pay them restitution and all that kind of stuff. But I wonder if Iran, now, first of all, China had something to do with this too. They pushed, apparently China pushed Iran into asking for a ceasefire. All right, because they need oil.
That's right.
However, everything has a deal to it, right? Maybe they told Iran, you asked for a ceasefire. Not only will we want oil from you, but we'll give you anti-air guns. That's what I'm thinking. My thought
Yeah, that's
process
a good
is
point. Yep,
my
good
thought
point.
process is you give them 2 weeks. I mean, they can get a bunch of anti-air guns into the country, and I hope we're monitoring that, because
That's 100%
now
right.
you can rebuild defenses, and yeah, big time. So that's what I'm thinking.
No, they still got the one strategy that they did was good. That Trump did was taking out the train tracks out. That's how they moved a lot of stuff out. So that's what they're going to keep on doing, the bridges and stuff.
Well, that was
But the
Israel
whole thing
too.
is,
Israel was whacking them yesterday. Train
yeah,
track. Remember that?
yeah. So, and then that they put all those women around the uh, uh, power plants and stuff, the nuclear power plants. Could you bring that picture up?
Yeah, I thought you wanted me to play the clip about the
Yeah, we'll
strategy.
do that first. First, we'll do the picture.
Okay.
Yeah, the signs were donated by the American Socialist Democratic Party. That's how that's what they were holding, I think. But all the women were lined up closer to the power plant, and all the men were closer to the bridge. So if Trump would have hit those power plants, right, those
Yeah.
guys could run away right away. And plus, across away from them, they had the Iraqi guys with machine guns and everything. So I think if they would move the line, they would have been killed.
Yeah,
And
we
then it
showed that
showed,
clip last night if anybody was watching
yeah,
about, and it had all the areas with all the people surrounding them and everything.
but yeah. So they were threatened. The next clip is exactly what I was saying about the strategy. We could take this one down and put that video up.
I couldn't get the one you sent me, Sean, even when I tried last night. I think it was because
I
it
think
was
it's
a
the same
Facebook.
one that Sean wanted to give you, but
No, but it's almost the same.
yeah.
Trump suddenly cancelled the strike on Iran. For me, that man is 10 steps ahead of others, and this is a masterclass in strategy and warfare. Last week, the entire world was bracing for war. The Pentagon was ready. Iranian airspace was shut down. Markets were on edge. Everyone expected the attack. And then, minutes before launch, President Trump called it off. President Trump issued a press release saying he did not attack due to assurances that the killings had stopped. The media said he backed down because regional partners advised him not to do so, but they were wrong. What actually happened next was a masterclass in modern warfare. Believing an attack was imminent, Iran exposed everything. They moved air defenses, they relocated leadership, they activated emergency bunkers, they rerouted communications, they shifted money, they revealed command structures, they showed exactly where power flows and where it hides. I bet during this, Iran's every move was tracked. Every signal intercepted, every contingency mapped. There was no strike, it was about the strike. It was an intelligence operation. America and Israel learned more about Iran in days than that in years. America did have everything needed to take Iran in one ghost month. That's a masterclass.
That's the end of it.
There's some
What the
points
whole
where
thing about the
you
summer,
well.
every time we tell them these clips, etc.
What?
No, I'm just saying it's about all the strategies that he was talking about make sense.
Yeah,
Are we
I'm
freezing
sure
or we're right?
What's that, George? Can you hear me?
No, but there's a delay between the conversation. Yeah, I hear you again.
Okay. No, I think there's something. I think there's a good point there, but then again, I don't know. I think we were definitely ready to go. I think there was because there was reports of planes taking off of different areas, right? B-2 bombers and stuff.
Mhm.
So I think they were definitely ready to go. I just don't know if, I mean, the talk about the intelligence tracking, I think, is huge. So hopefully they did see some and learn some different patterns. That would be kind of good. But it's I don't know. I kind of thought something was going to work out the last minute anyway. I kind of really did think that. So
Yeah, but you got to hear you got Alex Jones now. I just
Can I say
believe it.
something here? Can I say something?
But
Yeah. They're talking in the chat about what the targets were and everything, and I didn't see TV this morning. And I said I would have took out the manufacturing of their steel plants, like stuff like that. And they said that's what they did do. So I just wanted to acknowledge that we're watching the chat and everything too. So, but I didn't watch TV this morning to see that. So that's all.
no,
All right, took out a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, George.
No, okay, good. So
No, you're right. They took out a lot of manufacturing. They took out where they were manufacturing their drones. They took out where they were manufacturing their rockets. A bunch of manufacturing that's decimated, without a doubt.
I was thinking of so they couldn't make ammo, that kind of stuff, like steel, aluminum production, that kind of stuff. I'm sure that's what the War Department would have done anyways, but
Yeah.
I didn't know they did.
well, they know what with all these satellite stuff and all the technology that we have, that they know what, except for the deep terminals that they have down below ground, but the surface that they do all the manufacturing, they were all taken out. I mean, you could saw. So what did they do? Hit 170,000 targets between the United States and Israel. Just thinking at 170,000 targets. How much is that? And then the B-2 bombers that were taking north and going with all the bombs, they had those buster bombs, the ones that will go through the terrain, 200 feet and then explode. So I think they were prepared to destroy all their tunnels. They know where they are, supposedly. So let's see what happens. He wants to cripple them and take their oil. He said that before. President Trump said that before in the 1990 stuff when with Bush on the 80s.
Well, the difference between here's the thing. I think him saying about taking oil is, again, it's the art of the deal with Trump. Okay, I really don't think Trump wants to take Iran's oil. I'm gonna tell you why. We're not over there fighting. I mean, we're fighting a war, but Iraq was a little different. We were over there for years. We lost a lot of men over there, and he's always said we should have took the oil at least, to help coincide to the cost. But in this case, I don't think he just wants to go and take the oil. I mean, I could be wrong, but I just think I think that's more of a bargaining thing. Like, hey, if you guys don't come and negotiate with us, we're taking your oil. You're not going to have nothing. We're going to decimate all your military, your factories, your power grids, and then we're going to take your oil on top of it. I honestly think that's what his mindset is. But we'll see what happens. Obviously, 2 weeks, a lot can happen in 2 weeks.
Well, MK Hart brought up a point too in here I thought was a really good point. And she was saying this gives the U.S. Airmen a break too, because they've been nonstop for weeks. So that way they can come back, come back with a lot of gumption and everything. That is a really good point. There's maintenance on those aircraft and everything after so many hours. They got to do it. So I'm sure some of them were taken out of,
it's a very good
rotation
point.
And everything like that for that. So that was a really good point. And then Florida for Trump has in there about get on Substack and look at the Wright report, WRIGHT report, that they're talking about pretty much some of this kind of same stuff.
The thing, one of the points is that they said about reparation. What about Iran giving reparation to all the servicemen that got killed and the families, all the Gold Star families and everything else like that? What about their reparation? You got the fucking balls to ask for that? Excuse me. But
yeah, absolutely. What about
the balls they got? And then you know what that is? That's a Democratic strategist. They must have guarantee one of the news, CNN or somebody must have called them up and say, "Hey, put this in there. It's a good point about reparation."
Carville. Maybe James Carville reached out to him.
Yeah.
Oh, the Crypt Keeper. He's the Crypt Keeper. He lost his damn mind. He really has. I think he's got alcoholic dementia or something. I'm not kidding.
Alex Jones. I think Alex Jones lost his fucking mind too.
Yeah, but Carville got really crazy. Alex Jones, like somebody flipped a switch on him. But Carville's been going like straight downhill for a while, and now he's finally really, I think, hit rock bottom. I mean, he spits when he talks and everything. There's something. I'm not talking about just being angry. There's something mentally off with him now.
Yeah. Alex Jones is calling for the 25th Amendment.
Alex Jones, let me tell you something about Alex Jones. Think about this. A friend of mine said to me yesterday, my friend Jerry says to me, why maybe Alex Jones is this close to getting good graces with somebody. Remember he went bankrupt, he got sued, he lost all that money, right? So maybe somebody's paying him for this, and maybe he's just jumping. He was never. I don't know if he was right on Trump's train right in the early beginning. A lot of these people now are jumping off for opportunity, and I think some of them are getting paid for it without a doubt.
Well, he was at the rally. He was at Alex Jones was at there January 6th. He was at there Stop the Steal. He spoke at all those things. I mean, he was all for Trump and everything else. And then all of a sudden now, because of what he's doing, you got to talk about.
But was he for Trump? Was he for Trump in 2016? There's a big difference of being for Trump in 2020.
Oh, I can't. Honestly, I can't tell you that, but I know he was during the time of the Stop the Steal, the voting, and all that stuff. I mean, you have to. What I think that's happening, in my opinion, that what's happening is he knows. Is there a plan to break up MAGA? Okay, the MAGA force that's out there, because a lot of people, from what I saw last night, Trump's a sellout. I don't understand why he didn't do what he was supposed to do.
He went from being a war criminal to a wimp in 24 hours.
You're blowing bubbles again.
Yeah, Candace Owens went. She's just a freaking nutball.
No, they won't.
There's something. I seen some of the stuff she's been writing. I didn't pay attention for a while, and now I started reading some of her posts, and it's like, holy crap.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I unfollowed a bunch of these people last night. I was like, I had enough of I unfollowed them.
Yeah, that's what I did. You got to see. Did you see what Tucker goes about? He brings up about Trump didn't put his hands on the Bible when he swore, taking the presidency.
Yeah.
You want me to give you a fact? You want me to give you a fact about that one?
Go ahead.
Trump did not concede to the election, so he was still president, as president of 45, and he was still considered as president because he did not concede to the 2020 election.
well, we all know.
I totally. Again, so much.
But in the Constitution, you don't have to put your hand on the Bible. So that's a big, it was a big thing. But according to the Constitution, we researched this a long time ago, that you don't have to put your hand on the Bible to take an oath to come into you took the oath. But he took the oath already as president. And once you take the oath as president, you always carry that oath. So
Church has got something to bring up, I think.
Yeah, about Tucker. Let's go back. He took a lot of money from Qatar. He said he didn't, but he did. He bought a house in Qatar too. Qatar is on the fence.
He bought a house.
Yeah, Qatar is on the fence with everything he does. He doesn't. He never really takes a hard stand. Well, if you go back on his posts to maybe 5 years ago, he was saying that if you believe in Islam, he's a bigot because Islam is a cult, and he went on and on about it. And now he totally switched his stance on Islam. And I think that's just because he's getting paid off. And I think there's something to do. I think Tucker has this is just in my opinion, has something on him, because why would you buy a house in Qatar? Only if you wanted to flee the country. I can't understand why anybody would want to buy a home in Qatar. I guess maybe that's just my own thinking, but there's something to it for him to switch the biggest one, not so much politics, but on the Islam thing after he started getting that money. And he denied it over and over and over again, but then people were digging through his finances and they found out, that he was getting money from them.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be a lot of what he's doing. He has to say some of that.
But what happens is when Tucker speaks, and a lot of these politicians, these podcast people, and whoever's on the other side, they always bring up Israel, and it's like constant. There's a hatred. Look, the Israel people. We have nothing against the Israel people. If people have something against Netanyahu, and that's their problem. But the problem is that Netanyahu got pissed off that President Trump agreed to the 2 week.
Yeah, he's not happy with it.
Yeah, he's not happy with that. So if Netanyahu was controlling President Trump, supposedly from everybody, that President Trump is Netanyahu's bitch, I think they got it off a little bit.
Well,
The
that's
whole
all,
thing
but
had
George, all that Netanyahu, Trump's Netanyahu's puppet talk and all that comes from all these freaking
no, that's what. But
Trump people, TDS. Yeah, I mean, and
yeah,
it doesn't matter what
but
Trump does.
there's a lot of these people. Yeah, what I'm saying is there's a lot of people, MAGA people, that are saying this stuff. That's what I'm trying to bring up a point. Oh, Israel's controlling. Israel's telling us what to do. Trump hit them before Israel did for the simple reason is it was getting out of control of what they were doing. Iran. 47 years they've been trying to look all the people, all the soldiers that they have killed and all the maimed and everything else that all these, that we sacrificed all our men and the soldiers that were men and women that went there to fight. You understand? And they supplied. I don't think they didn't supply the whole thing of 9/11. I know everything is an inside job, and government knew about it. Yeah, all that stuff is true.
You're talking
But
about Iran.
yeah, Iran.
Very well could have, sure.
Yeah, because the 19 terrorists, right, were all Shiite. They weren't Sunnis.
The only thing with that is Iran and Saudi Arabia they don't see eye to eye, really, right?
Well, because of the Shiite, yeah, because they're Sunni and Shiite.
But you have a lot of the hijackers that were of Saudi descent, so that would be the only thing I would say I'm not sure of. But I wouldn't,
Yeah, but they were Saudi born, but they followed Shiite. That's what they were following. So that's the Islamic radical group of everything else, and that's who they were under. So that's what. But the whole thing is, Saudi Arabia has a big contingency of Shiite Muslims there, and so does all these other countries have the same shit. So does Turkey have them. Turkey, Pakistan, even India has them. They're all over the place. They're like roaches you can't spray. They keep on coming. And don't forget they have all these wives and all this shit with the kids that come out, and they radicalize them all. So you got to deal with these.
Definitely outbreed. They're going to definitely outbreed people because you're right.
Oh, yeah.
They have 5 to 8 kids, not even blink an eye.
And the whole thing is that they laugh at us because we supply them here. America is so good that number one, they don't get married to all the wives because you can't do that because it's bigamy if you get married under the city state law, right? So they are under their religion. They could get married by their imam, which is the same thing the Hasidic Jews do, and now they're not considered married. So now they have children, and then they need assistance. So now they get the funding for the rent, medical, everything else. All our tax dollars go that way because they say they have all. It's fact. It's all fact about all this money. That's why they got away. They got away with all this shit as years went by, and that's how they make their money, and that's how they do about the government. They did a lot of research on this when they started doing this shit. But it's not only. There's a lot of. There's a lot of people that come to this country are trained before they come here on how to use the system. So
how to abuse the system.
Yeah. But they use,
abuse it.
And that's how it happens. So now they have children out of marriage, right? So now that he's got, say, Alibaba's got like 6 wives. He has 3 kids in each one of the wives, and now they can't go to work because they got to take care of the kids. They go to the government, special assistance, and they get it. And then they can't say that they don't get it. They do get it, even if they're not citizens, which are not. That's besides. But these are a lot of factors that are taken into place.
So, I think it was Artie Bull said in the chat about if Iran keeps sending missiles to Israel, there is no ceasefire for them. Well, I wonder if is this a combined ceasefire for Israel that has to stop too? That's the one question I have. I don't know about that.
Yeah, it has this one. You got the Houthis, you got Hezbollah, you got Hamas, right? You got Boko Haram. They're not part of that agreement.
They're proxies. But I'm talking about Iran itself with Israel. Is that in the agreement also? I don't know. I mean, obviously they were shooting missiles into.
Yeah, listen, as far as like sniping,
Now they were saying that's because maybe they didn't get the
the memo. Yeah.
And I think they said that the actual ceasefire wouldn't start till today anyway, because I guess it gives them time to set it all up and all, I guess. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens. In 2 weeks could be a long time, it could be a short time.
Well, you know what what it is that I think I gotta say President Trump. I think he graduated from. Remember what we said? He was 3-tier chess player. Then he went to 4-tier, and now I think he went to 5-tier. I mean, he confused them to no end. I mean, they now all the fake news media is the best ones now, because what they're doing is, European 149 countries are talking not to trade with the United States now. This is what one of the CNN reporters came out with. They were talking about 149.
A CNN reporter saying that is like Iran saying they shot.
No, I'm just saying. But I'm just saying how.
Did you guys like a woman's point of view at all this morning, or
yeah,
you guys gonna just keep
absolutely.
going back and forth?
Well, you're sitting there like this, looking down, doing something. I don't know, so
I'm just because like every time somebody stops to take a breath, I can't get in there.
I'm spilling. Raise your hand. That's spilling the garbage.
I'm not going to raise my
hand.
In my opinion, you're being too passive.
Yeah, that's right. You're not saying
the little elbows in there. Yeah, you got to go.
No,
raise your hand.
I'm not violent.
Just raise your hand. Can you say like I do? I raise my hand when I want to.
This is what I'm going to raise my hand at. I'm getting abused. No, what you're talking about makes a lot of sense and everything, but the whole thing, like with the Hezbollah and them, they're never going to adhere to a ceasefire ever. What is that?
I know.
I don't know. It's something with that.
Must be something George has got going on there in the background.
Yeah, I hear somebody talking underneath. Yeah.
George, you got something going in the background? Especially the Houthis and the Blowfish, they won't adhere to a ceasefire.
No, they're never going to adhere. Huh?
I'm sorry, they would play their song, Houthis and the Blowfish.
Oh, yeah, they're never going to adhere to that. So I don't think this ceasefire is even going to last 2 weeks. I really don't. I think something's going to happen in between that. And then one side is going to blame the other, and then all hell's going to break loose all over again. Maybe Iran will try to hold to it, but I doubt it. I really doubt it, because you got the rogue elements on one side, and then you got the ones that are doing the negotiating on the other. And I don't think they're going to. What, George? Go ahead.
No, I'm not saying that. Sorry.
Good. That those two factions are not, huh?
I said, let Tracy talk.
I didn't finish. I didn't say a word.
Be a gentleman, George.
Those two factions are not talking to each other. They're the rogue ones are going to do what they want anyways. They're never going to adhere to the ceasefire. That's just my opinion on that. That's all.
It's a very good opinion. It's not opinion. It's fact. It's not an opinion. What you just
said. People don't see in the background. We have our screens, and if one of us goes on mute, there's a little mute button comes up. So George just put himself on mute, and that's why I'm laughing.
Yeah, but that I really think that's the way it's going to play out, and it's going to be one of the rogue elements is that's going to ruin the whole entire thing. So no matter how much they try to do,
you're right.
I think no matter how much, huh?
And they could use them if they want to. They could say, "Hey, hey Hezbollah, or hey Houthis, or whatever, shoot this into Israel for us." I mean, I'm sure they could use them for that. I mean, they use them for terror anyway. Why wouldn't they use them for this?
Yeah.
You know what Trump's plan is right now? That everybody's talking about it. That everybody's talking about it. Trying to figure out what he's going to do. No, I'm just saying it's just. He's using the news media, everything else. I mean, it's a great strategy what he's doing, that's what he's doing.
Well, yesterday, before all this happened, I was talking with my friend, and my friend kept on saying to me, "What's the end game here?" Well, obviously, the end game is Iran can't have a nuclear weapon, right? Mm-hmm. But like, if we're going to go to do all this hell fury on the power plants and the grid, what's the end game here? And I don't know if there really was an end game per se, except for getting them to the table of negotiating. That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, they're not going to give up that nuclear stuff unless it's taken away from them, because whoever is in charge of Iran, the radical people, their main issue, even the Quran says it, and their main issue is to destroy Israel.
And lie.
America's going to take it.
And
Or
lie,
both,
lie,
one or
lie,
maybe both. Yeah. Lie, yeah.
And they can lie. So
Mhm.
destroy. They believe if they destroy every Jew in Israel, Muhammad's coming back. That's what they believe in.
Well, you know what the supposition is going around on the internet now about that is that Iran is doing this on purpose to bring around the apocalypse so that our Christ can't come back and that their Allah will come back. And that's part of why they're so hell bent on doing this now, because this is the time that they're at their most powerful. And I think they're losing the population on with their propaganda, so many, because the younger people are getting smarter to what's going on. And so that, I think that has a lot of validity to it too.
Well, the thing that the biggest threat was that the close to 55,000 people, they have killed their own people. I mean, if the world doesn't see all this stuff, just imagine looking at all those women that they used, a majority of the women and children, to get in front of their power plants to protect their lifelines and stuff and everything else. I mean, people can't see, the whole world can't see that.
They don't value life. They always said,
Yeah.
How can you fight somebody who doesn't value life, right? Because that's why you usually give up, because you kind of value your life. So
But see,
they don't value half their population as it is, because they don't value women. They see them as chattel or cattle, whatever. Yep. So to put them in front of that kind of stuff, I mean, and to think they have to do what their husband tells them to do too. So they end up in front of those stupid things as bomb fodder. And I think that's really wrong. But if they can expend half their population right off the bat without even blinking an eye, you know how ruthless they are.
You know that before this all happened with the bombing and everything, that Iran passed a law that they could marry kids at 9 years old. They could marry women,
Yep.
Child.
Really? Wow.
Yep. Well, they went from 12 to 9. Instead of going up on the number, they went down. They went from 12 years old to 9.
All right, that's a pedophile's paradise, George.
Yep, but that's okay. The Democrats agree to that. So,
well, that's because the Democrats have no morals and values. Look what they do. I mean, they don't even care about Americans. So why would they care about anybody else?
We saw that at the, what do you call it? At the when Trump spoke in front of Congress, they didn't respect the biggest thing with the U.S. hockey team and the soldiers that sacrificed that were there. The angel moms that their son or daughter was killed by illegals. I mean, it's just they just have nothing. They're all the majority of them are possessed. I mean, look at how they react and everything else and what they talk about. It's terrible.
That's because a lot of them don't have souls. And if you believe in all that kind of stuff, there's a lot of people wandering the earth that don't have souls. And what are they going to do? They're going to go towards evil. So it wouldn't surprise me that a lot of Democrats are like that. What do they call them? NPCs? You know how many of them that walk around are like that? Yep. You see people, you see, look at the people that just, like the guy that walked on that train and just slit that chick's throat that was Ukrainian and everything. How can those people don't have a soul? And that's the kind of people that gravitate towards a cult.
Yep. I watched a video yesterday from about, I forget who put it on Twitter, but it was over there in the Middle East about Sharia law, and it showed a guy, husband, beating his wife. I mean, throwing her down, stomping on her. First of all, who's the ass? I mean, first of all, it's wrong to do that, but who's the idiot that sits there filming it and doesn't stop it, right? I mean,
no, because it's part of their religion. They don't care. It's fine. They're right to do that. They have the right to do it.
Yep. Crazy.
That's the problem. They have the right to do it. They believe they have the right to do anything they want. They could kill any, So especially, I know that they created their own air force with. When you find out you're gay, they want to see if you can fly when they get thrown off a building. So people, oh, no, they don't. And when you ask these kids, like when they interview these kids, do you know that they do that? Oh, no, it can't be. They won't do that. Oh, yes, they do.
So Trump put a post out. The United States will work closely with Iran, which we have determined has gone through what will be a very productive regime change. there will be no enrichment of uranium, and the United States will, working with Iran, dig up and remove all of the deeply buried B-2 bombers' nuclear dust. It is now and has been under very exacting satellite surveillance, and put in parentheses Space Force. Nothing has been touched from the date of the attack. We are and will be taking tariff and sanctions relief with Iran, or talking. I'm sorry, not taking, talking. Many of the 15 points have already been agreed to. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So that's what he put out. But again, until I see a 15-point something coming from Trump, I'm not believing it from CNN or anywhere else.
Yeah. Yep. Agree. Newsflash. Wormhole.
Oh, you guys ready for a little worm?
It's
Yeah, today
9:15.
Wednesday?
Huh?
Yeah, it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
There we go.
You should put that blonde woman as yourself there. You should put your face
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah, you should superimpose
Yeah,
Trixie
you
on
should
her.
superimpose it.
And she should be pointing at the ground for the wormhole, not in the air.
Yeah.
I think she's pointing at Mothman up in the corner.
Mothman?
Yeah, Mothman. Yeah. So everybody's been talking about Tim Burchett. I'll start out with that one. I'll play that clip first, and then I'm going to go into it because after that you'll you'll understand more what I'm talking.
Now go slow. Don't be going too
Yeah,
fast.
talk very slow.
You know what I did this time? Instead of making a long reel, I cut it up and I got a bunch of little quick short ones. So it'll that way we can talk in between them a little bit here.
Also,
So so everybody knows about Tim, right? You guys have seen him all over the place. He's been going on about
congressman.
Yeah. Hu-Breds, Hu-Breds. Hu-Breds is the same thing as a hybrid where Hu-Bred is when they've inserted human DNA or alien DNA, vice versa, whatever, to come up with another person. I'll just do a quick disclaimer before I play him. So what they do with these people, and it's come out through the government, and they haven't come out like with, it's validated. I'll put it this way. They haven't like put stuff out in the news, but Gates has been talking about it. He's been talking about it. These people are placed into the CIA. They're placed into covert operations, black ops, even in the military for the elite, like sniper forces and stuff like that. So because they're very intuitive, because they carry both DNA, ancestry DNA, 23andMe, when they were doing all this stuff, the supposition is that they were looking for the lineage of these people because some of them weren't taken by the government. But these hybrid people are when you see about alien abductions, like in Dulce, where that is over by New Mexico and stuff, there's a lot of human genetic experiments that go on over there. And
that's why the Mexicans are short.
So that's why 23andMe and all this stuff was made. They say that your DNA was taken to do medical experiments, but I think a lot of that was doing more cloning than anything else because they need a clean stock to be able to do this, where they can trace the lineage to make a hybrid, so they're able to control them. So now I'm going to play Tim.
Being murdered is what they're afraid of. I think some of them truly are because of things they've seen. NASA saying, well, we don't have anything. We haven't studied this or whatever. And I've been in meetings with them where they've told me they've studied it and they have stuff that's classified that they can't share with the public. I think it's a big cover up. I think there's too many directions that it's going. I spoke to the president about it the other morning, a little bit about it, about just being forthcoming and bringing the stuff out. I was in a meeting this year and I was told that the president was on a need to know basis on some of this information. And I thought, man, y'all don't know Donald Trump like I know him, and a few of us know him, because that's not going to sit well with him. When I told him that, he goes, what does that mean? And I said, well, just that they're just completely arrogant and that they don't think you should have that information. I would hope that would light that fire under him, but I know there's a lot of things going on in the Middle East and other places that he's trying to tackle right now.
So with this, all this hybrid program and everything, it goes way back a long time ago. And there was a guy named Phil Robinson, and he was a government contractor. He was put outside of Area 51, and they were supposed to go and drill down in and do some tunneling work. When they got into the tunneling work, he actually came across all these really tall people that were basically reptilian. And they had the laser weapons and everything. And this was in the 90s. And he would go around and do seminars and stuff. And he would talk about how he found all that underground stuff around Area 51. When he was with the military, they had military guards all the time doing this. When they broke through boring into that part of the tunnel, those things had laser guns, and they fried off his fingers. They split open his chest. And when he would do his seminars, he would show you the scars. He would show you his hands and everything. And when he got to a certain point in disclosure about getting really deep into it, they took him out. The government did. So all this stuff has validity. Now, you know who John Lear is. John Lear was from Learjet. He was back saying all this kind of stuff way back in the early 90s, late 80s and everything about this. So this has been going on for a long, long time, basically since Roswell, but it's been hitting more mainstream. So with these hybrids and Hu-Breds, the abductions that are going on, they say, which I believe, are our own military disguising themselves and using reversed engineered technology. John Lear was really good on how he would talk about that. But remember that general that just disappeared and he worked on propulsion systems?
The one that, well, that's not the one that went hiking. That's a different one.
Mm-hmm. He's the one that went hiking. So the military knows all these propulsion systems. So it's not too far of a stretch to say it's our own military running a psyop on people so that you can't tell what's real and what's not. But I'm going to play this. And this woman found this diagram that this general did that explains the propulsion system. And it's only a minute long. And then I'll show you why I played this after that.
Look at this blueprint from General Neil McCask's land. I'm going to break down this little pumpy thing. Look at the bottom left. You see where it says seed gas? You put a tiny bit of mercury gas into this tube. That's your fuel. You don't burn it. You just use it as a battery that lasts for weeks. Then comes the zap. You hit that gas with 20,000 volts and microwaves, literally the same tech in your kitchen. This turns that gas into a plasma. Think of it as a glowing electrified cloud of lightning trapped in a bottle. But here is the real secret. It's the shaker. See that green block? That's a piston, but it doesn't move up and down like a car engine. It just vibrates 10 to 30 times every single second. That vibration creates the squeeze. It crushes that lightning cloud so fast it hits 1500 degrees instantly. The machine then sucks that energy out, feeds it back into the start to keep that zap going, and gives you a massive surplus to run your entire house. This is a self-sustaining loop. It powers itself and everything you own. No grid, no coal, no oil, and he just randomly drew this as a comment reply to someone.
Now, he drew that. That was that general drew that system. The supposition is that he disappeared right before or right after the UFO disclosure. Now, you know how I always talk about plasma and how they were able to inject DNA into it to make it semi-intelligent so that it could carry information and everything. So they're part of that. The military does use plasma. They can use it as a weapon. They can use it like for surveillance and a lot of things. So now I'm coming to the orbs. I'm bringing a whole circle here. So when you see the orbs up in the sky, none of them are really like a physical form. It's always like a cloud of a gas, more or less. And I got some videos I want to show you of orbs, but I'm going to start out with the one that my daughter saw this last night, and it was in her yard. And I'm going to put this up, and you can see plasma can change colors depending on how it's fed, like depending on what the energy system is. So a lot of them are green because of the mercury, but this is what she saw.
Explain that shit. This is what happens when you live in the sticks. Look at that, it just dropped big time.
So what she was telling me last night after they filmed this part of it, it even turned red, but it would drop, it would go up. I've seen them too. I've seen that kind of stuff. And that when you see it and it kind of morphs a little bit like that and everything, it would be like a plasma. But the military uses that type of a plasma to cloak satellites, aircraft, whatever they're using like that. And there is, how do I want to say this? I can't prove it, but I believe Space Force was made for this particular purpose so that they're able to keep it outside of regular government control. Now, where's this one? What that was were red orbs that were shooting out of the pyramid. Now, when you look at plasma, is it this one? Oh, here's more.
Okay, another one showed up. I'm telling you guys, there's so many of these in the sky, and most people just mistake them as stars or planets or something, but or satellites, but they're blinking, and this, as you can see, is not a satellite. It's not Starlink. It's not from around here.
Now, do you notice how that it seems to change colors? It starts to change shape and everything. That would be like something that would be plasma. And it could be doing surveillance. It could be doing a lot of things. So you can't tell if it's from the military or if it's from something extraterrestrial or different dimensions. And what's this? This is another form of it that was seen, and this was in daylight, so you can really see it good.
Fenómeno, una nube negra en pleno cielo azul a la mañanita. Increíble, una nube extraña. Observen.
You notice how that one is real dense. And I think part of it's because of the gravity of the earth, because as it came down, closer to the water and everything, it would pick up moisture out of the water. So it wouldn't be real super clear plasma. But these are the type of orbs that have been seen all over the place. I've seen them myself. I've talked to George about this too. And Sean, remember when the New Jersey drone thing was going on? I sent you a film of one that I saw over here outside of my house. But they're all over the place, and you can even see them at.
Explain that shit. This is what happens when you live in the sticks.
What the fuck that is, y'all? Sean, what the fuck that is? What is that?
I like that one. That's not a meteor because it's going up. It's not coming down.
Up? Oh,
Yeah, it's going up.
Oh, wow.
So all these things that are coming out now have a lot to do, what they say, like with the end times. If you go into Revelations and everything, it said that all the stars, a third of the stars would be wiped out of the sky. Well, if you were real ancient person, you wouldn't have any way to describe any of this stuff. And I think that's what makes me think that this is more or less from another dimension or another star system. Or those people were actually able to prophesize what was our military would be doing now. But the metal that they use for some of the stuff, the metallurgist that disappeared, the thing she worked on, which is really important that ties into Iran, was a type of metal that's able to cloak military craft, satellites and stuff like that, but it only had a certain window that it would hold together and stay together. After a certain time, that metal would just start melting and it would come apart and come down in pieces. So a lot of the stuff people were seeing over the United States and different areas, they're supposing that that was part of that stuff from the military that was doing surveillance that was coming down as in pieces, because a lot of them were green, which would be the alloy that they were using in that military stuff that she was working on. And part of why she disappeared was because she would be able to identify what that was, that it was part of satellite weaponry and not asteroids or meteors or whatever they're saying that they are. So all this stuff ties together, and it ties together through war, it ties together through religion, and it ties together through astronomy. When those first started coming across the United States, NASA was really quick to come out and say, oh, those are meteors. Now they're saying they're not meteors, and they're being really quiet about it. So all this stuff is exploding on social media, but nobody's actually addressing
it. Play that video? Did you do it?
Yeah.
Professor, could you play that video? This is not AI, so.
All right. Did you hear that trumpet sound? That trumpet, I think it goes along with this.
I hope it's getting it on the camera. I can't even see the screen. Oh my God. What in the hell? This is bizarre. You see that? See that cloud right there? See that bright spot? Now watch at the top in that little V where that bright spot is. Watch that bright spot jumping around. I can see that. What in the hell is going on?
Those sounds are heard all over the world all the time. And they're always associated with some type of a sky occurrence, whether it be a supposed UFO sighting or plasma or anything like that. So who's to say, is it our weaponry making that noise? We really don't know.
Well, can I bring up one quick point? I know you went there. Remember, what was that movie? The one that had the satellite that made that sound. What was that movie? From the third kind or whatever.
Yeah.
Encounters of the third kind.
Close encounters.
Right. So just think of what year that was done. Right. Just think of what year that was done. That was done in the 70s, correct, or something?
Yeah. Late 70s, I think.
So a lot of times, they say there's a lot of stuff that comes out in these movies that are preparing us for what's happening. So and they also said, as the word Trump is, like President Trump is one of the trumpets. They were talking about that. But the whole thing is all these sounds that they're saying now, they did that in a movie, right? They did that in a movie, that sound. And it's amazing how the spaceships or whatever they're doing, making these sounds now. So that means they must have had something already for them to get almost the same exact sound that they did in that movie from what they discovered at that space place there, that they got all the aliens out there. So
Yeah, Wright Patterson is the one that has all the alien debris in the bodies and everything. But what you're talking about, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Steven Spielberg was given access to classified information in order to do that movie, and that was Soft Disclosure, and that was based on an actual true story. They won't come out and say it, but that's where the information came from. And another one of them was what was the one that they? Oh shit, I can't think of the name. It was just a couple years ago, and it had Amy Adams in it, and the aliens were like gas balls with really long tentacles. Oh, I wish I could remember the name of the movie. You know which one I'm talking about? Yeah, that.
Who was in it? Amy what? What was
Amy Adams? Amy Adams was in that movie. That was another disclosure movie, and that was one where the aliens were like a gas form with tentacles, and they came down, and they were able to show her through like time travel, basically the future of her life and everything. And the only way they were able to communicate was
Arrival.
Yeah, that's it. That one. Now that one was a soft disclosure movie too. And so they take directors for movies like that. And there are some of them, you know, I know Spielberg for sure is one of them, and they give them that information because if they came out all in one to tell everybody, like they say, it would bust religion. It would bust society. There would be so much chaos because some people won't actually be able to comprehend it, and they will actually go crazy. So there's a lot.
So look at the stuff Stephen King comes out with, all these movies.
Stephen King was on acid when he was writing shit. I'm
just saying the movies that come out with all these like these like It and From and all the stuff that like. Well, it's not just imagination; it's stuff that people get information.
Yeah, but
can some of these videos with the trumpet noise and all that stuff, could they be some type of psyop operations also? You know, there's been talk about a psyop of making it like it's an alien invasion, right? Of the world. You heard about that, I'm sure. I don't know, but I'm just throwing that out there, because wouldn't be the first time governments have lied to people.
I'm telling you, I don't think so. I think the trumpet sounds are the technology when something goes wrong. And that's why they're not heard all the time. But I think it has something to do with the propulsion system. And that's just from things that I've read about it. But I can't be sure. But because the noise is so odd, and it sounds something mechanical more than a horn to me. But if you believe in Revelation, that sound could be the prophecy of what, John saw, but had no way of describing. Because I always bring this point up too. In Revelations, they talk about the wing things that come down and sting you. Why couldn't that be drones that are armed and shoot you? Instead of how he used them as scorpions.
They're winged.
So you have to really, how do I want to say, you keep an open mind when you're looking at this stuff. I mean, Project Bluebeam has been said that that's going to happen. There's so much stuff that's out there, but if you start really digging into the scientific part of it, you'll find, I think, a good portion is our military doing some of it. And I think, and I think the other good portion.
The audible portion.
What?
What's that?
Audible. They take it. Wait, I just saw it.
I have been the subject of a psyop. No.
No, let me tell you something. I'm positive. CIA. I'm positive Trixie's part alien.
Oh, Trixie's part alien?
You see, he says that to me all the time. He calls me part alien. But
Trixie's part alien and part CIA. I think she's a hybrid.
Yep.
But all this stuff has merit. So when you're looking at that, like all the meteors and everything coming down, don't just assume that, it's the end of the world and everything. It could be our own military. They're not going to tell you, that that's space debris coming down. They just won't. They can't because it's classified. And yeah, it could be Satan deceiving to bring up, to do that too. But I don't know. I don't think so. I think I hate saying this, my opinion, but I think in my opinion, once you start really delving into the stuff, you can see part of what's military and then part what could actually be.
Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers I brought up yesterday: 45, 47. Add them up is 9/11. Are these signs, or this is like just coincidental, or
No, Marty, my eyes aren't going to go into a reptilian. No.
Yes, but look how dark they are. We gotta watch. You gotta look at her eyes very close.
I got the crazy eyes going now.
Yeah. Plus,
No.
she's RH negative. RH negative is part alien.
Yeah, it's part
The blood.
scaly. You said she's very scaly, George.
She is.
Yeah. No, so a lot of
She's
the
always
stuff.
cold.
Yeah,
She is reptile. She's always cold, like a reptile. It's cold.
Yeah. But no, I just really like this subject, and you have to use discernment when you're looking at it. That's what I'll
when
say.
you disappear.
This is why we call it.
Don't blame me when you disappear. Don't fucking blame me, everybody.
No, but this is why we call it wormhole, because nobody can really prove anything until there's hard disclosure on it. And so you wonder, and you have
look
to
at
take
Virginia. You're part of the Pentagon. It's like believing a Pentagon briefing, part of the truth.
I
But
agree
what
with
about?
You don't know which part is true.
No, you don't. But if you like the plasma stuff, that's all you can look at and find that anywhere, and then just put the dots together. But like two atoms, they've always said time travel isn't true, that it can't be done. But they've already taken two atoms, put them in two separate places, and they still react to each other, even though it's thousands and thousands of miles
What about
away.
the guy that wrote the book?
Quantum entanglement. What?
What about the guy that wrote the book about Baron?
Yeah.
Travel.
Yeah.
Is his name
like
Adam?
Baron, like Baron Trump.
No, was he Adam, the guy that wrote it?
Oh.
No, but like science has verified a lot of that, like what I was saying, like quantum entanglement. So that would be like where you have the two atoms that are so far apart, but one always will react to the other. They were able to
destroy Tesla.
Yeah. And like CERN. Now, I don't think CERN is doing what they say they're doing. I think CERN is opening up portals into different dimensions and busting the veil, because they were able to put one atom on the other side.
Starlight 17. What is that? Starlight 17. Remember that thing with the people going through that?
Mm-hmm. But
Stargate 17.
Yeah. But CERN, they use the god Shiva, the god of destruction. That's who is in front of the CERN building. And when they fire up CERN, they always do some kind of a ritual with Shiva. Now, why would you use the god of destruction if you were using CERN for scientific or good things? But there was even
He only brought up Aston Forbes. Tricks, you should check them out.
Yeah. So CERN, I don't think CERN is what they say that it is. And if CERN ever blew up, half of Europe would be gone. It would really just be gone because of the power that's contained in that thing. But if you look at a lot of different things, like in the caves in New Mexico and everything, there's drawings done with that red paint and everything. And if you look at some of them, they look exactly like the inside of CERN with all the structure and everything. And nobody was able to say what those were. But then now, within the last several years, people look at them and you can see the resemblance. So there's a lot of truth to that.
That was a good point that was brought up about Stargate. It was supposed to be under a pyramid where they found the time traveling thing.
Well, that was like Gaddafi. Supposedly he found one of the Stargates, and that was part of why there was the Iraq War and why there was such a fight about it. That, and then that 12-foot giant that they found there. And that's been verified. That's been verified by a lot of people. There was a C-130 pilot who withheld part of the information to verify it was somebody else, and they both matched up. But it was a recon group went missing in Iraq, and they couldn't find them. It was either Iraq or Afghanistan. They sent a second group out to find them, and they found every one of them were dead. And then this thing was eating a U.S. soldier, and they killed it. And they took it on a pallet and they brought it back, and supposedly it weighed like 1 ton, and it had 6 fingers, 6 toes, it had 2 rows of teeth, red hair, white skin, and everything. And so people said they've seen those on the mountains. And if you look those things up, you'll see videos where people had like dash cams on their car and they're going down the highway in a mountain range, and you see this huge figure walking up on the crest of a mountain, and it's not Bigfoot. So that's Wormhole for today.
All right.
Oh, so wonderful.
A lot in there.
This is Sasquatch. Yeah, well, I want to get into Dogman one time, and then we'll talk about that one too.
How about the Jersey Devil?
Yeah, the Jersey Devil. I know about that one too.
Yeah.
And the swamp skunk down in Florida. There's a lot of them. They're
They're
yeah,
among us.
Yeah, I saw your question there. Not there today because it's Wednesday. Sean.
Yeah. See, that's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sasquatch.
Yeah, you know it's the Sasquatch.
Sasquatch. That's what.
That's been
that's
over
like
for.
that's like a Bigfoot, right? That's like a Bigfoot. Sasquatch?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's Bigfoot, and a lot of people think those are multi-dimensional, and that's why you can't ever find a body, basically. But are they multi-dimensional, or do they just live underground? You really don't know.
Maybe it's Chewbacca from Star Wars.
Why wouldn't Chewbacca off of Star Wars be based on? If it's soft disclosure, like Star Wars was supposed to be, that could be what it was.
Maybe you never know.
You got to have an open mind. I mean, I look at everything with an open mind.
Yeah. I just found this is an alien spacecraft. I just found a piece on my lawn.
Oh, that's not. Now you're making fun.
That thing looks like it's got a couple screws loose.
It does.
So
27 of them. I took. That's the front of the bike.
Well, this is Sasquatch. That's like Sasquatch.
He made his debut last night.
I know. I'm sorry.
Why'd you take off my alien thing for?
Wait a minute.
Because you were talking about the bike, and we were talking about Wormhole. So go ahead.
That looks like an alien ship. That don't look like an alien ship. I thought that looked like an alien ship.
No, it looks like a pisser. You put one cheek on one side, one cheek on the other, and the holes in the middle.
You keep this shit up. No cheeks are going on that bike. How you like that one?
Last night, we've been mentioning for the last few days about the sparring match, the Twitter sparring match between Roger Stone and Laura Loomer. And I woke up in the middle of the night last night. I couldn't sleep. I was going to call George and be like, "Hey, you up?" But I didn't want to wake him up if he wasn't up. But I said, Roger and Laura need a 2-week ceasefire, just like Iran and United States. I said, we got much bigger problems. We need maximized pressure for the Save America Act, and we need to win the midterms. I said, being that you both support President Trump, we need all the help we can get. I think they really got to freaking, stop with the sparring. It's just like, it's almost like who's got more allegiance or, that kind of bullshit.
The problem is they want to be both right. That's what I mean. Roger Stone is a very smart man, and so is Laura. I mean, with Loomer with investigating everything. Yep. But I mean, they used to be tight. It doesn't matter.
She had a live show last night. I watched it. It came on like around 9:00 on Rumble, and she was talking about, I guess this Michigan Senate guy that's running.
Oh, so yeah, Sally Bali Balabo.
Yeah, he's
Abdul El Sahid, Michigan Senate.
Yep. He's even said something to the fact of, if you think Medicare, if you have an issue with Medicare fraud, you should want to kill Rick Scott. Like, political violence. The Democrats. They own political violence. That's for sure.
Well, the reason why they brought up Rick Scott, he was a big thing with the medical fraud and shit and everything else. So a lot of money on that with that one. But the whole thing is, he would have been better than Toom.
Yeah,
Toom stopped everything. It's amazing how we, the people, have to suffer because we elect these assholes in there, and then they do what they want to do, not what. See, by right, many, many years ago, they used to come out when they had to do a bill or something like that. They would come out to the people and say, "Look, we have this bill," and they were talking about it. What do you think of it? And then they would go to the majority of the people here and bring it back to the House and make the vote on it. Not them. These hairs, they decide everything. They have no right to decide anything. They have no right to put all the fucking bills together. They should have every bill separately. Any bill that should be a law. That's what they should bring.
Yeah. Well, hopefully.
Everybody looks at the sky. You know why a lot of people always look up at the sky, and it's beautiful to see when, especially a clear night and stars, because you're always wondering. And when you look up at the sky and the stars, it really takes your mind off of a lot of things because you're only concentrating about what's up there. The same thing with, you know what? What else does take them off your minds? And that's why there's a big gambling problem. When you go to the casinos, the only thing you do is concentrate on that machine, nothing else, or the card table, nothing else. And the same thing when I'm not saying go to the casino, but the
Money.
sky is the best. Well, I'm just saying the sky is the best to sit back and look at the sky and just think and look what's out there. And what was the thing was? The answer is out there, right? Isn't that?
Yep. Tracy, don't tell George you can go on for hours. He'll extend the show.
I just read it.
He'll extend the show. Why don't we stay on until 11:30?
I could go on and on and on about that stuff. I really could. It's just so interesting to me. I know it's not interesting to everybody, but to me,
everything's interesting.
That's correct, Mark. One bill at a time. But they'll never do that. Never do it. They'll never do anything that they're supposed to do. They can swear in our Constitution. They don't even know when they swear in the Constitution what the Constitution is about. Please, excellent. And that's what pisses me off about Alex Jones. Now he's put, let's invoke the 25th Amendment so we could take President Trump down. What is the problem with these people? They should have took Biden down. They should have took Obama down. They didn't do that shit.
Who's he trying to get back in their graces? That's what I want.
I don't know. But you know what it is? He gets a lot of people.
I think they're positioning themselves in case a midterm loss. And obviously, if it's a midterm loss, it's going to be anti-Trump. But I think they're looking to position themselves for life without Trump.
I don't even think there's going to
Happy birthday, Brad. Happy birthday, Brad.
Happy birthday to you, Brad. Happy birthday, Brad. Brad is listening in the background. It's his birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy
birthday. Now look, see? What? How come you didn't bring a cupcake there, Trixie?
Because I was awful busy yesterday and last night, I think. That might
happy birthday, Brad.
Listen,
today was my dad's birthday too, so they shared.
You're an amazing woman.
How old's Brad today? Brad Ginger, tell us how old Brad is today for the chat.
Oh shit! If I became president, let me tell you something. I get out there, the machine gun standing right there in front of the Capitol, and shoot all them bastards. I'm gonna get in trouble for that. But I'm just saying
that's a strike on YouTube.
Yeah, George, what's the matter with you?
I'm only being sarcastic. Not gonna happen.
Thank you for the disclaimer.
A lot of them are just useless pieces of shit. I mean, they're all for themselves instead of for the people. That's why half of these people would be hung by now. If the founding fathers were around, they would be.
Yeah, something would be changed.
Well, we could go into a wormhole about the founding fathers and the angelic being that was in there locked into the building while they were writing the Constitution and how General Washington had been visited. That would be a good wormhole Wednesday, too.
That's a good wormhole. Yeah, do that next Wednesday. That's a good one.
Oh,
what is that about? Huh? What?
You didn't know about that? There was an angelic being that was locked up into the Constitution Hall with them while they were writing.
It's a $64,000 question. How did the founding fathers know when they wrote the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence that we were going to go all through this bullshit at this time? They predicted the future. They knew exactly what was going to happen. They know exactly what's going to happen with politics. They said it right then and there. And this is 1776. Really was 1787 because a lot of people don't know the Constitution was ratified September 17th, 1787. Because of the war. After the war was over, that's what they did. But as least people don't know about history, everybody thinks the birthday, it is the birthday July 4th. It was really supposed to be July 2nd. but they didn't have the paper ready. That's all. So, like, did you know that?
Yeah, Amazon was late on the delivery.
No, they ran out of ink. They ran out of ink.
Yeah, that's why you needed next day deliveries back then. They were.
Yep.
They didn't have that.
Did you know that the Pony Express, when they used to ride, they were given a Bible when they decided to join up?
Really?
Yeah, because it was a terrible thing to deliver the mail, with the killings and stuff that they got. So.
Yeah, it wasn't like there was police officers or stuff like that out.
Yeah.
You're riding through the woods, right? You're riding all kind of things. So every era has its challenges, right? We just have illegals stabbing people on subways and pushing people off of train platforms.
That's right, testimony. George Washington did go into the woods and pray to the angels. That's correct. Remember when he crossed that river? What?
There's a painting of that.
Yep. What do you call it? What about when he crossed the Delaware Water Gap, right? When he crossed the water?
No, not the Water Gap, Delaware River, right outside. It's actually where he crossed is probably 10, 15 minutes from my house.
Yeah, but imagine
every year, Christmas Day, they do a crossing.
Reenactment,
a reenactment, and they do it 2 weeks before they practice it. So to tell everybody, I know people don't like to travel on Christmas, but if you ever want to watch the reenactment, it's like there's a practice that's 2 weeks before, which is pretty cool. They put the boats in the water.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it's actually neat to see. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who locked who up? One citizen said supposedly they were locked into that building, and there was an angelic being standing in the corner while they were writing the
What's an angelic being?
An angelic being, like a being of light.
Being of light. Like an angel thing, but it was.
So it could have been an angel, a ghost, or what have you.
Could have been anything. But that ties into Mormonism too, because that's what Smith saw.
It could have been dust in the light.
Okay, Doubting Thomas. I don't know.
I'm not doubting Thomas. Listen. See, Trixie, an open mind works both ways, not just one way. So an open mind works both ways, and that's why I always have I'm like the devil's advocate in a way. I always say, okay, well, it could be this or it could be that. So,
well, the only thing I know, the angel that appeared pointed to the Constitution and make sure under God. No, I'm just.
Well, that's why we have this platform, Sean. I was just teasing you.
I know you are. I'm just teasing.
Remember, it was written on Judea Christianity, no Islam.
What's
the Constitution was written under Judea Christianity.
But I never heard about the what was it? What'd you say? Angelic being?
Yeah, look it up.
It sounded like I said bean, but it's not bean. It's a being. You should understand me. You're from Michigan too.
Well, no, you're talking about. See, if I said it was being, I could say the right word, and
I can't say being. I say front room.
I can't understand any word either you're saying, actually. But
well, you know what a front room is?
A what?
A front room.
This is testimony. You're very good. I'm proud of you.
That's your front room.
When they were writing the Constitution, they locked the doors and nailed the windows shut.
George, can you let Tracy talk, please?
He doesn't.
I'm reading testimony, what she wrote. Oh, he wrote. When they were writing the Constitution, I'm very proud of him. They locked the door and nailed the windows shut so the press would not report anything until they were done. Correct.
Are you talking about when they did the Constitution?
Yeah.
Yep. Testimony just wrote that up, which is correct, 100%.
TSM, not testimony.
Listen, I'm thinking about history of the world. Testimony.
Next year, call me the piss boy.
Yeah, piss boy.
Tracy went like this. Shoe fits wear.
No, I was just thinking. I was thinking of a part of history of the world where it was what's her name, B. Arthur, and she was standing behind the thing, and he said I'm a comedian or something like that, and I did something else.
Oh, that's the Roman thing.
Oh, you're a bullshit artist.
Yeah, bullshit artist. Yep, that was great.
Yeah,
that was the time of the Roman thing. They would get unemployment then too.
Yeah.
Did you work this week? No. Did you work last week? No. Okay, you're good.
Yeah. See, nobody
Did you
knows
kill
what a French
anybody?
room is unless you're from Michigan.
A what?
Did you kill anybody this week? No.
A French room.
A front room.
Front room.
Front
A front room is your living room.
Why not just call it a freaking living room?
Because I'm from Michigan and that's what they call it. Front room.
Thank you.
All right.
T.S. Money says I could call her testimonial one.
What's she say?
Can call me testimony if he wants to, because George is always right. Who's this person?
You got TSM.
You're going to be on my crap list if you keep saying George is always right. You're going to make his head explode.
Yeah, TSM. You're. I don't know what happened. Did George send you money?
TSM money. Yep.
Did George promise a ride on a new motorcycle? What's going on here?
Is she coming to? They coming to Savannah?
Yeah, TSM. Are you coming to Savannah?
You bet your ass. Okay.
Really?
No, I don't know if TSM is coming. I don't know.
Is the bird and Augie coming to Savannah? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. Can you hear the bird right now?
That's nice. She homeschools her kids. Very good.
You should bring the bird to Savannah. That would be good.
No.
You can all see the bird putting the kids off their side.
How old are your
Did
kids?
you say you have a
How old
conure?
are the
What
kids?
kind of bird do you have, Trix?
It's a parakeet.
A parakeet. Okay, I had a conure, and
those are nice. I like those.
They're cool, but you know it's funny. Like when they want to get loud, oh my god, they get loud.
Mine does.
Yep.
Mine likes YMCA. It likes our opening, and it starts screaming, and it likes that "Ring Your Bell" song too a lot.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You ought to get video on that.
I should. She starts bobbing and dancing. And
yep.
What, George?
Hey, TS Money. I want to know where she lives. I want to. How old are the kids? Because I'll send them stuff.
Now we got 2 thumbs down. See, somebody didn't agree with George.
Oh boy, there you go, George. Process likes.
Yeah, see,
George's doing his job.
Will you private message me, TS Money? TSM?
TSM.
TSM money.
No, I'm going to talk. Let's see, can I click on this and chat with him?
I don't know. I like Wednesday. I like Fridays though too. I like Fridays. I liked last night. That was fun last night doing a night show.
How many kids you have?
Who's he talking to? Yeah.
He's talking.
Yes. TSM.
Well, what do you guys think? Did you like last night? Anybody that was watching? You liked it? Bird did. So you can hear the bird.
The bird wasn't really out last night. I think the bird loves the morning. We should bring the bird on as a guest one day. You can have a camera on.
It does it. If you go kisses to it, it goes.
Oh, does it?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you can hear it say something, but they're really parakeets. When they talk, they're really super hard to understand. But my sister
how's Augie with the parakeet?
I don't know. The dog goes crazy. The dog killed one already.
Because we had a dachshund. Well, we had a dachshund, and our conure, it was funny. The conure used to, whatever's like in the cage, move around. And then one time with the long tail, the tail was hanging out of the cage. And Oscar, we had a dog, Oscar and Marco. We had two dachshunds at the same time. I think it was Marco. Marco jumped up and bit the tail, ripped the tail off.
Yeah, well, my dog, as soon as my other bird got up, he ate my bird. It took one time.
Little shit.
Wow.
Yeah. I have a zapper thing that makes a sonic noise because he goes, when I feed the bird, he goes into the cage and just goes nuts as soon as she starts flying around and everything. And she goes down to the bottom of the cage so he can see her and teases the dog because she knows he can't get her.
Kind of like Tweety Bird and Sylvester back in the day.
Yeah, that's what she should have done. Called the dog.
Those dachshunds, though, man, even the rabbits that are on my porch and everything, he goes nuts. So they bark at leaves. A leaf blows by and they're barking. So. Oh
yeah. My dachshund barked like you would thought he was a Doberman Pinscher the way he was barking all the time or whatever.
Yeah, and they're loud too. The bark because of being in the burrows when they were getting badgers. Their bark is really loud.
Yep. Yeah.
RG said last night was fun, but they couldn't understand George.
What was it? Maybe it must have been the regular. Must have been the accent.
Yeah, we're doing.
Poor
We're
George.
doing it every Tuesday. We're gonna do it on Tuesdays and see how it goes.
We might do Tuesday and Thursday. I like that.
Yeah, it might. I don't know. We got a lot of views last night, and then this morning the number really went up. So
I could get some guest speakers at night. Easier for me to get guest speakers at night
yeah.
than doing the Tangerine. Your
Tuesdays nights at 7. It's called Wake Up Patriots After Dark, and it's a black icon with red lighting, and it's on Rumble and YouTube.
And we've been having aliens on as guests.
Yeah.
Hu-Breds and Hu-Breds. That's what we've been having on.
Yeah.
I
Oh
know
my gosh.
No, it's not.
Oh, it was a good show, everybody.
Yeah. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I did.
Watch the orbs. Watch the orbs. Keep on looking in the sky.
They're there.
That
And you
says
can
it's
tell.
overbooked.
What? They're coming.
You can tell the difference between an orb and a what do you call it? And a drone and actually a star. The orbs, I mean, there's no way you can't tell what it is. And they're around.
I shot it.
Huh?
I had a drone come over my house. I shot it.
Yeah, I wouldn't shoot an orb. I'll tell you that. Especially if
Oh,
you made a plasma.
It may
You
shoot
can-
back. It may shoot back. It may pick you up, spin you around. You never know.
Yeah.
Never know
Well,
power meter.
Well, that's how time picking me up.
I would tell. I have an open mind. I would say, Trex. If an orb comes above me and starts flashing, I'm just going to look at it and go, listen, I have an open mind.
they interact with you.
That's
They're
what I'm saying.
intelligent.
That's
So
what I'm saying. I
if
have an
you-
open mind.
If you have intention, and because there's DNA, there's semi-stunt in it. So people have said, was it Stephen Greer can go out into a field with people, and when they meditate for a while and have the intention of that, they show up. So there's something to all that, So what it is, some of it, like I said, some is military, and some I think is something else. But I don't think any of us will ever know until we pass away or somebody does full disclosure. So, and I think that's coming. So,
Yep.
anywho, we're not ready
Yeah,
to because our moderator is out in California on vacation. So if you want to see the
Wow.
sports, you got to
Was
go
this
over there on your own.
Was this a Brad birthday vacation?
Yeah, kids.
Oh,
And,
okay. All right.
yeah, she went home.
Cool.
So
Cool.
yeah,
So they're up early in California time for us. Wow.
Yeah.
We love you, right? That's awesome.
yeah,
And
she
Brad's
already-
even up on his birthday, hanging with us. That's awesome.
yeah, they're probably having a good time out there. So
Well, happy birthday, Brad. And Brad, you get like 3 more hours of your birthday because California's behind.
Yeah, because it's different now. It's like 7:00 in the morning, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
I think so.
All right. Well, we'll be back tomorrow, Lord willing, if we all wake up, right? And Iran doesn't bomb the shit out of us.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this whole ceasefire.
Oh, I think so too. And since it's Wormhole Wednesday, guess what we go out to?
I'm gonna crash it.
A slither?
Yeah.
Tails wagging, George.
Caught in a trap. I can't walk out
Bye, everybody.
Suspicious
hear-
mind.
because I
I can't
love you too much, baby.
And I had End of the World keyed up.
Why can't you see
What can you see?
what you're
You
doing
do to me.
when you don't believe a word I say?
Be a fits for Wormhole Wednesday.